Hey, what up, guys? Coming to you this morning, another 2019 year-end top 10. We're going to discuss the lightweight division. Start with one of the top 4 divisions in boxing. This is probably the 4th division, best division in boxing, in my opinion. This video, we're discussing the guys that dropped out of the top 10 from last year in numbers 8, 9, and 10. So let's kick it off. We start with the 6 guys that dropped out of the top 10 from last year. The first fighter is 32-year-old former 4 division world champion Mikey Garcia. He entered the year as a WBC lightweight champion. He decided to move up to welterweight to challenge for a world title 2 weight classes above. And he was unsuccessful, so he stayed ranked at 135 for most of the year. But yeah, he ended up, he drops out because he ended up vacating that title and made plans to move up in weight officially to 140 or 147 for the, pretty much the future of his career for now. So he's not ranked in any more weight classes. He entered the year number 2. He has dropped out, and we'll discuss Mikey in more detail when we get to the welterweight division because he cracked the top 10 at welterweight. The next fighter to drop out of the top 10 is 28-year-old former IBF world champion Robert Easter Jr. He was number 4 coming into the year. I discussed Robert Easter's year in detail when we did the junior welterweight division, the 140 pounders, because he made the top 10 there. He fought his first fight at lightweight against Rances Barthelemy, ended in an ugly draw, which neither fighter deserved. That was for the vacant WBA lightweight title, and then after that, he didn't fight at lightweight anymore. So he's still ranked number 3 at lightweight, but he won his debut at 140. I think he's going to test the waters there, but he could come back down considering he's still ranked. He never said weight was an issue. He just decided to move up for that fight with Granados at 140. So he could not move up. We'll see what Robert Easter decides to do. The next fighter to drop out is 30-year-old former 2-division world champion Jose Pedraza. He entered the year number 5. He fought his first fight right around 135, as that was his first fight back from 2018 when he lost the WBO title as he attempted to unify belts against Vasily Lomachenko. That was in December of 18. So it looked like he made it clear, though, that he wanted to move up to 140 and attempt a championship at a 3rd weight class. And when he moved up, he took on Jose Cepeda, former 2-time world title challenger, and just pretty much got outboxed and outclassed. That was on the Tyson Fury ESPN card in September. And where that puts Pedraza now, nobody knows. Haven't heard anything since the loss back in September. He finished the year 1-1. Not sure if he's going to continue to try to make an impression at 140 or if he's going to come back down to 135 and compete here. He could still break the top 10, though, if he comes back and gets his feet wet. But I'm hoping we see him back by March, April at the latest. But we'll see. A loss like that was unexpected. It wasn't an upset, though. I picked Zepeda to beat him. But, it was an unexpected loss. I think Pedraza was expecting more of himself, and a tough loss. So we'll see how he bounces back in 2020. The next fighter to drop out is 38-year-old former world champion Ray Beltran. He entered the year number 8, but made it clear that he had intentions to move to 140. And in February, he debuted at 140 and got an impressive knockout win there against a Japanese fighter. And, looked like 140 was going to be his new weight class. Then he got an opportunity to compete for the IBF lightweight title against Richard Comey. So he comes back down to 135, but then he missed weight for the fight. The fight went forward. He was ineligible to win the world title, and he ended up getting his ass whipped by Comey. Comey just really dominated him in this fight. He fought hard but couldn't keep up, and he got knocked out in the 8th round of that fight. So tough loss for Beltran. And we'll see what he does next. Again, he's 38 years old. He's not ranked in any weight class or in any governing body. I think if he's going to pursue his career, he needs to do so at 140 going forward. But he still could compete, but making weight obviously was an issue. So if I was him, I'd come back at 140. And I think if he does, that'll be the weight class. But we'll see what happens. Coming off a tough knockout loss like the one he had against Comey. Haven't heard anything since, so we'll see how he bounces back. Next fighter to drop out is 33-year-old former world champion Anthony Corolla. He entered the year number 9. He was the WBA mandatory number 1 contender coming into the year. And in April, he got the biggest opportunity of his career as he attempted to fight. He took on unified lightweight champion Vasily Lomachenko. big opportunity to make a dent. This is a guy that always takes a punch well, and he just got his ass whipped in this fight. Vasily Lomachenko came in and just fucking rolled right over Crolla with ease. Brutal right hook, face planted Anthony Crolla, knocked him out, and that was all she wrote. He came back later in the year, got a decision win against some nobody. We don't know what Crolla's going to do going forward, if he's going to move to 140, if he's going to officially retire. But I don't expect much out of Crolla. Either way, he could still come back down and crack the top 10 at 135, but we'll just got to wait and see. But, yeah, I mean, tough loss, though. He got his ass whipped, and you know, but he fought against the best, so no, you can't hang your head there. But, yeah, it's tough to bounce back at his age, tough to bounce back from that. So we'll see what he does in 2020. And then the final fighter to drop out of the top 10 is 36-year-old former 3-division world champion Ricky Burns, who came in number 10. And, you know, he fought only, I think he ended up taking on Lee Selby in 2019, a former featherweight champion. And he fought hard. It was a good action fight, but Selby was just a little bit better. That's what I saw. I didn't score the fight, but that's what I saw with what I saw of the fight. And the judges saw it the same way. They gave Selby the fight by a majority decision. So Ricky Burns, is not in the top 10 anymore because of that. You know, Burns could get back in the top 10. He's a game veteran, but at 36, 3-division world champion, former 3-division world champion, you know, I don't know if he really has what it takes to compete at the highest level, but he still could crack the top 10. He's just got to get opportunity in 2020. He's a veteran, you know, a former world champ, so he's looked at as a stepping stone type guy. That could give him some opportunity. So we'll see if he bounces back in 2020 and makes one last run at becoming a world champion. We'll see. All right, now we're going to look at numbers 8, 9, and 10 in this division. We start with number 8, or we start with number 10, finishing the year number 10, is former featherweight champion Lee Selby. Selby entered the year planning on debuting at 135, as he had never fought above 126. He lost his title in 2018, his featherweight title. He lost that to former champion, he lost that to Josh Warrington, undefeated Josh Warrington. And he cited after the fight that it was because he struggles to make weight. So not only did he move up in weight, but he skipped over 130 all the way to 135. And in February, he made his debut against Omar Douglas and got a 12-round unanimous decision, but it was a tough fight. But Douglas was a decent fighter to debut against, so I gave him props for that. Then he came back in October and took on Ricky Burns and had to fight hard in this one, but he got a hard-fought 12-round majority decision. No really, you know, no controversy there. He deserved that win. And now he's ranked number 1 by the WBO entering 2020. He's not ranked, or he wasn't ranked coming into the year, so impressive to break into the top 10 when he wasn't ranked and he moved up 2 weight classes. He's 32 years old, so he needs to make a splash now. 28-2 with 9 knockouts in his career. Not a big power puncher, but he's a good boxer that throws a lot of punches. Again, he's number 1 at WBO, but he just signed on to fight in a final eliminator for the IBF title against George Columbos or something like that. I haven't really, not too well-known fighter, but he's signed on for a final eliminator, so winner puts himself in line for the world title. Now, whether it's a WBO or IBF belt, he's in line for either Vasily Lomachenko or Teofimo Lopez, and those two guys are supposed to unify belts. So he could be the next guy to face the winner of the Lomachenko-Lopez fight, or if they don't fight him, they got to vacate the belt, and then Selby could be in line for a vacant world title. So he's going to have opportunity. I don't think Selby is on the top level at lightweight, but he's going to have opportunity to become a world champion, I think. I think he's going to get a title shot in 2020. We'll see. Next, and finishing the year number 9, is French contender Yvan Mendy. Mendy entered the year number 7, so he drops a couple spots. But he was coming off of 2018 where he lost to Luke Campbell in their rematch from a 2015 bout in which he beat Campbell by split decision. So Campbell left no doubt in the rematch, got the unanimous decision. But Mendy, instead of laying low, he fought 4 times. He stayed active because he's a guy with not a big name and he's a French fighter, so he doesn't get a lot of opportunity. And he just stayed busy. He took on pretty much nobodies, but not like low level nobodies. At least they were decent. Some guys that have been in there with decent fighters before, and he got 3 out of 4 knockouts. So impressive. He closed it out with former world title challenger Haider Para, knocked him out in 6 rounds, and he just stayed busy showing some power at his age now at 34. His overall record is 44-5-1 with 22 knockouts. He's currently the WBA gold champion, whatever that means. He's ranked, his highest ranking is number 4 by the WBC. So we'll see what opportunity he gets. Being the gold champion, does that mean he's going to get in line for Gervonta Davis, who's the regular champion? Is he going to get in line for Vasily Lomachenko, who's the super champion? We don't know. I don't know what the gold distinction does. I think it puts him basically as a number 1 contender, but what does that mean? Again, is he going to fight Ivan Mendy? I mean, is he going to fight Gervonta Davis? That would be big opportunity for him. He's never had a world title shot. Is he going to get mandated? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do believe he's either going to get that or he's going to get put into a final eliminator in the WBC to try to get a world title shot towards the end of the year or later, because there's a lot of guys vying for the world title and trying to get in line right now. So we'll see. I think Mendy will get somewhat of an opportunity, though, in 2020, and it might be his last one as he's 34 years old. And now finishing up this video and finishing the year number 8 in the lightweight top 10 is former junior lightweight champion Javier Fortuna. Fortuna entered the year not ranked at 135. He was still ranked at 140 when he moved up for his one-off against Adrian Granados in 2018. And he was coming back down. So in February, he took on former title challenger Sharif Bourgier. Got a 10-round unanimous decision, a clean one. Good fight and opponent to come back against. And then in November, he got a WBC final eliminator against former featherweight champ Jesus Cuellar. Not sure how Cuellar got into this one, but he did with Gervonta Davis against Cuellar, and I think he did it 1 round quicker. He knocked him out in 2 rounds and stayed in line for a world title. And then the WBC ordered him to fight Devin Haney for the WBC world title. And so they ordered the fight, and then Haney had to give up the belt due to an injury and was declared champion emeritus. So that meant Fortuna would fight the next guy in line, which is Luke Campbell, former 2-time world title challenger, and the WBC has ordered that fight. They have not made it official yet, but they've ordered it, and that fight looks likely for the WBC title. So Fortuna's going to get his opportunity at a world title and a chance to really fight with the best, because it's expected that he's going to fight Campbell, and the winner of that fight is probably going to face Devin Haney in their first defense, because Haney's supposed to be back towards the middle, possibly second half of 2020. So, and he's a champion emeritus. He can move in front of any number 1 contender to fight for the title. So that's what it's looking like. Fortuna could surprise some people and really put himself in the top 5, not just by winning the world title at lightweight, his second weight class, but by putting himself in against the best. So we'll see what Fortuna does. I like Fortuna. He's a good boxer, got decent power. This is a big opportunity coming his way in 2020. He's 30 years old, so he's still in his prime, and he can do it. He's 35-2-1 with 24 knockouts, and he's the number 1 contender in the WBC. So, again, opportunities are coming his way. We'll see how he takes those, and if he can beat Luke Campbell. I think he's going to lose to him personally, but I do think he's got a shot at beating him. I don't think it's going to be a flat, for sure win for Campbell. So see what happens. All right, guys, that's it. That's the dropouts and numbers 8, 9, and 10, which are Javier Fortuna, Ivan Mendy, and Lee Selby in the 135-pound lightweight division. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.